Are just about ready. One of these two will be lifting that beauty tonight in Oberhausen in Germany, which is where John McDonald is standing by to bring out the players.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome back to the action. It's coming to you live on ITV Sport from the König Pilsner Arena here in Oberhausen, Germany. It's the final of the Unibet European Championship, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the millions of viewers joining us around the world. It's time to meet the finalists. Would you please welcome, firstly, taking part in his first European Championship final, the reigning World Cup champion and the reigning champion of the world, Snakebite, Peter Ladies and gentlemen, from Aldershot, England, looking for his second European Championship title, the winner of 9 TV titles, he's simply known as the Machine, James Wade!
Well, these players will have to enjoy playing in front of a crowd, as we don't quite know the next time they'll get a chance to do that. But for now, the focus is on lifting the trophy of the European Championship in 2020. Over to Chris and Stuart Pike to guide us through the first part of the final.
Oh, it should be an absolute cracker. 2 brilliant semi-finals, of course, as you've all discussed. James Wade winning a dramatic last leg decider against Devon Peterson, and Peter Wright holding his nerve throughout. Johnny Clayton with a brilliant performance, but a miscount at a crucial time cost him. Peter Wright in his first European final. James Wade, of course, bidding to do what he did 2 years ago by winning the European Championship for a second time. And he is a serial winner. Peter Wright is becoming a serial winner, of course. After winning the World Championship at the Ali Pali, Wright went on to win the Masters, of course, on ITV Sport at the end of January. Too close to call, or is Peter Wright justifiably the favourite?
Well, certainly would make him favourite.
Peter to throw first.
Not sure with how much confidence. James Wade does have a way of making us look a little daft. The book is make Peter a big 2-5 favourite.
First to 11 to win the title. £120,000 to boot.
There's your tournament stats. James, 95.8.
140.
Very impressive from Peter Wright. Over 103 for a tournament average.
140.
I think if ever there was a match in James Wade's darting career that exemplified why he wins big tournaments and wins tight games, that was it against Devon Peterson in the semi-final.
Just great bottle, isn't it?
Did you require 142?
When just under half the legs you're winning is being hit with your third dart, that's the epitome of bottle. I used to call it luck.
99.
Each to their own.
Did you require 32?
13 dart opening leg. world champion,
Game
Masters
for the first
champion.
leg, Peter Wright. Second leg is James to throw first. Game on.
20 minutes between, give or take, between Peter Wright winning his semi-final
59.
and starting the final. And we have looked back periodically, haven't we, at these finals days, and you know, whether it's more advantageous to win the first semi-final or the second.
Hit me with that stat.
It's give or take 50-50, Chris, it really is. Nothing in it.
140.
I suppose it'd be different to look at it over the last couple of years when Michael's not been winning everything. I mean, there was a period of around about nearly 4 years he didn't lose a tournament on ITV4.
100.
I don't think Jackie had seen him lose.
No, certainly for the first 3 years of her presenting.
54.
So a chance here for Peter Wright, early doors to grab the initiative. Yeah, for
94.
Wade, the World Series finals, the European Championship, 2 UK Opens, 2 World Grand Prix, the Masters, the Premier League and the World Match Play. It's some roll of honour.
Well, 2006 made his debut in the match play. I think I might have been 15 seed or something. I played him in the quarters and he absolutely wiped me out. Made the final, won it the following year, and made the final the following year.
I think he's lost 4, maybe 5 World Match Play finals.
A great match play player.
Yeah.
58.
So to double his lead,
16.
he needs double 8, the world champ.
Game on the second leg, Peter Wright.
Back to back,
The
13 legs.
Game on.
Of course, for Peter Wright, the World Championship, the big one, the one that's eluded James Wade.
Set play.
The UK Open, the Masters, and of course the World Cup. Still the reigning World
100.
Cup champions, the Scots, with Peter Wright and with Gary Anderson.
Wouldn't mind seeing a few set play
140.
tournaments, maybe introduce a few into a few of the European tours just to spice things up. I'd love to see the World Cup just pairs all the way through.
131.
James Wade back in the top 8 of the world after his exploits this weekend in Germany. He wins the
140.
final. He goes up to world number 7. Peter Wright already has reclaimed the world number 2 spot from Gerwyn Price by reaching the final. Of course, beat Price on his way
140.
to this European final.
$90. You require 130.
Good last start from Wade. How many times have we said that over this tournament? Good last start
How
from
many
Wade.
times have we said that for the past nearly 15 years?
105.
Kiss the wire.
131.
Still a big ask.
This would be really good, but not possible now.
91. You require 20.
Relying here on his opponent missing, otherwise it's 3-0.
2 8s.
Good dart.
Peter Wright. Although he's
Peter Wright doing to James Wade what James Wade does so often to his opponents. Last start in hand.
It's opening 3 legs. 13 and 15, averaging 110. James Wade, no slouch.
100.
Not at a dart, at a double.
Peter Wright's only ever lost major finals to Taylor. to Van Gerwen and to Gerwin, Price.
Them three ain't bad, are they?
97.
50 years of age, but getting better and better.
Nice, inspirational to many players.
Not enough, James.
Could be punished. Two-treble visit to be on a finish.
140.
Wade needs to match it or better it. He's matched it. He's bettered it.
164.
Superb maximum from James Wade under extreme pressure.
Well, Wade will
104.
be used to walking into a performance like this. He played Taylor plenty of times, who was hitting these kind of numbers.
Doesn't often let him down, does it? Double 10 gets James Wade on the board in this European Championship final. But what about that maximum to set it all up, to give him the opportunity to take the leg?
Thousandth dart for James Wade coming up. You could probably
100.
times that by 10 with the practice darts.
Back-to-back 140s from the world champion.
Two
To see
visits.
crowds in, Chris, even though it is only 250 a go each session, but certainly added to it.
Well, rather than to look at just a curtain or a void.
The next tournament on ITV, the Players' Championship Finals, sadly behind closed doors in Coventry at the end of the month.
65.
Bit of World Cup in between
World Cup of
that.
Darts next weekend
And the
in Austria.
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam, then the Players' Championship Finals, and of course the Ali Pali. It was a bitty time of year, isn't it? Right, looking for 4-1. That will help.
Ooh, long way off.
No, that wasn't.
Peter Wright.
Well, Peter Wright making pretty much the perfect start to this European Championship final. One break of throw, but 4 legs out of 5. And the world champ is very much in the box seat against James Wade. Welcome back to the European Championship final. Oberhausen in Germany. Is there going to be a new name on the trophy? Peter Wright leads James Wade 4-1. Wade looking for a second title in the space of 3 years. You were talking about the calibre of players that have beaten Peter Wright in finals. Van Gerwen, Taylor, Gerwin Price, Gary Anderson you've got to add to that list. Can James Wade add his name to the list and come back? Kurt Bevins, our referee. Game on, it
James
says.
Wade,
And this is what Wade's going to have to produce.
averaging exactly 100 prior to that 140, but trails 4-1, a fitting standard to this final. Everything 15 and under, winning legs in that first mini session for Peter Wright of 13, 13, 15 and 15. And one leg for Wadey coming in 15 with a 180.
100.
Just leaning forward a bit, isn't he? This new worked out style. It's worked out so far for him.
It allows the dart to get there sooner, so it doesn't have an opportunity to weep to the right. Certainly making James weep at the moment. Confirmation of the darts used there per leg.
.57, change of 136.
Surprised he stayed there after the first dart.
Yeah.
96.
To leave tops to get his second leg of this final on the board.
Myself and Stuart will be taking you through the first
100.
10 legs of this one, and then handing you over to Alan and John.
Last dart in hand, James.
30.
Now then, what an opportunity. 3 clear darts at tops and double 10. Even James is puzzled by that.
So are we. He's going to get 1 dart at tops, just.
69.
What an important dart
10.
that could prove to be. 5-1 with a double break and throw.
James Wade.
Peter Wright would have thought
Peter to throw first. Game on.
he could almost start looking at the winner's circle.
Wadey doesn't mind double 5. It's a similar weight of dart to tops.
100.
Which, as we know, he's usually pretty reliable on. Trailed Devon, of course. 4-1 in the opening session. And then surged back into the match in the second mini session. Neither player have found tops yet.
140.
It's okay, 140 from Wade.
Good pressure on the Peter Wright throw.
Well, there is now.
85. $100.
Down to a finish. Really needs the treble.
100. Andrew 121.
Treble 20. Can still finish. 101 left. That leaves the ball.
Yes, on the 7th leg, James Wade.
The perfect picture of James Wade at work.
Game on.
A dart away from going 5-1 down, potentially, and now he's throwing to make it 4 apiece.
97.
Now back on throw.
$140.
105 average for Wright, 102 average for Wade.
66.
Proper game of darts so far. Check out stats, both over 40%. The thing that's lacked is a few 180s. About 2, 1 each.
128. $58.
2 poor visits there from James Wade.
A massive instant break back opportunity here for Peter Wright.
60.
How often do we see that happen there? One player gets 50 odd or 60 and then the other player follows suit, even in a final.
100.
Still advantage to Peter Wright here.
6 if needed. Single 19. Leaves tops.
133.
Lovely setup shooting there. Wade will be looking for 140.
Oh, we're going to see our first tops of the final.
40.
It's been a top final so far.
He was walking. He thought it was in. Recompose. Wow.
20.
What an opportunity now for Wade.
Uruguay 120.
120, well within Wade's range this. That's what he does.
100.
Clip the bottom wire.
Uruguay 20.
One of those important
Moments we
of the match, yeah.
often look back on.
Concentration.
Yep.
That's a great dart in the circumstances because somebody distracted him.
Nice flag, it's Peter to throw
Stays
first.
right.
Game on.
Longest leg of the final so far.
Might be the sweetest.
Yeah.
Peter Wright.
17 darter.
$140.
15 140s already.
$140.
And another.
Starting to trade 140s. 8-7 up in that column to to Peter Wright.
They switch here.
59.
One 180 apiece. 13 scores of a ton or more for James. 16 for Peter.
140.
That was brilliant adjustment, wasn't it?
Working
A
around
foot across the hockey,
that blocker.
and they both go in.
92. Uruguay 121.
Could go ball first. And does. That leaves 96. Method in what looks like madness.
85.
Well, the reason he went that way, of course, simply because his opponent not on a finish, but Wade should.
Well, there's
be
always that
prepared.
risk of going for the ball with your
Yeah.
final dart, and if you
100.
if you miss it or hits it, you're in the same.
36.
And he opened up the three-leg advantage again.
James on the night
There it
leg.
is.
Peter Wright. So thank you, James, to throw
Wade
first. Game on.
managed to get within one.
It's his third 13 darter. On the final.
93.
Still maintaining that high average.
Been over 100 from the very first game.
96.
106 against Gabriel Clements, and that's where it stayed.
First 9.
140.
It's outstanding. 115.18.
Rock steady.
100.
Stylistically, so good to watch. Worked so hard on that over the years.
128.
Good response from Wade. Is this a second?
Oh,
just as good.
74.
Fantastic
Uruguay
too.
Well, the
Put the
18 would
pressure
have
on.
left him 167,
Yep.
which is why he switched to there. But the bonus, hitting the 54.
60. Uruguay 131.
174.
Biggest moment of the match.
If he takes this out, for sure.
95. Change required 80.
Gotta go, James. Favourite double. And it does go. Brilliant from Wade. Stay in the final without a shadow of a doubt. All to play for in a race to 11 to be crowned the European champion. Peter Wright just with the edge, leading James Wade by 6 legs to 4.
The world champion Peter Wright is currently on course to add the 2020 European Championship trophy to his World Championship trophy. But 2018 champion James Wade still has plenty to say about that. Wade 6-4 down in a race to 11 and taking over in the commentary box, Alan Warren-a-Little and John Rawling.
Good match so far this, Alan. Peter Wright looking as though he's going to run away with it in that brilliant performance in the first session. Sequence of 13-13, 15-15 to go 4-1 up. But typically, Wade, he just hanging on in there. He managed to get a leg there, and again a crucial leg just before this second interval. Great start there from Peter Wright, his second maximum of the match so far. But Wade is such a grafter and he'll hang in there.
41.
Yeah, it was so crucial, that last leg before that second break, because he threw first in that leg. Couldn't afford to be 7-3 down. And Peter Wright here starts his third session with 2 maximums.
Whisper it quietly, we've had 1 maximum. The De Sousa maximum
140.
earlier this weekend. Can Peter Wright do
141.
likewise now? 141 required. Oh, and he's missed it. He was after the treble 17 and he got a treble 2.
51.
Very disappointing.
I was getting ready to get all excited about that.
It's a marvellous start, marvellous.
30. Required
Still in a good
90.
place though, 200 on.
Yeah, excellent leg, it has to be said. May stay there. Yeah.
Lovely. Tops.
Yeah,
Well, a 12 darter, not exactly a shabby way to start it, with a couple of maximums as well, and Peter Wright increases his advantage.
Still brilliant darts though from Peter Wright.
140.
Well, we started proceedings on Thursday with the marathon 16 matches, John. We've had the 9 darter you mentioned from De Sousa. Peterson and Clayton getting to the semi-finals. That incredible match with Peter Wright and Gerwyn Price. Then William O'Connor 2 weeks ago. He wasn't in the tournament. Next minute, he's in the quarters.
81.
Fantastic event.
Peter Wright has been consistently, absolutely at the top of his game all weekend, and here looking for another maximum. He's had 4 maximums in the last 2 legs and he's on a 9 darter again.
Just hope he doesn't go for treble 2.
Well, he went for treble 17 last time. I wonder if he'll change his approach. We will see. Looks as though he's going up, is he?
Yep.
Yeah,
There we
and
go.
he's got it.
It's on.
But not now.
Still incredible effort in these last 2 legs from
89.
Peter Wright. Back-to-back maximums. Twice on a 9 darter.
Sensational darts from Wright, whose average is absolutely
140.
stratospheric now. Up around 109 and now 52 to win. To go 8-4 ahead. Beautifully done, an 11 darter. Wonderful darts, Alan.
Well, absolutely exceptional from the world champion. His tournament average before this final was 103 plus. I'm sure that'll rise. Just over 109 at the moment. And James Wade isn't playing badly.
Being swept away by some complete snake bite brilliance.
140.
That's exactly what it is, John. It really is.
Showing why he's the world champion. I suspect it meant a lot to him earlier in the weekend, beating Gerwyn Price, who's had the run of success, and people were saying, is this the new world #1? And he's come here this weekend beaten Gerwyn Price, said, I am the world champion and I'm going to show that I am the world #1. And he's now just 3 legs away from his 3rd major televised trophy of the year.
Yes, and in this strange season, as we've talked about quite a few times, as Peter Wright's looking for yet another maximum. That's 5 in the last 3 legs.
Storming clear,
133.
racing towards the finishing line. Wade's on a finish. Only one man's done that this weekend. 170, that was Max Hopp. Peter Wright is aiming to score so many. Oh, he was just outside the treble 20 he was looking for. Wanted to make it a must get, but Wade hasn't taken it anyway.
He's on a mission. I was just about to say that, you know, he won the World Championship,
73.
had the tears, the trophy, went on and won the Masters the following month, and then we've had this strange season. But this will make him feel a whole lot better if he can lift the European title.
33.
Just a glimmer of an opportunity for James Wade, 110 to pull one back.
May stay there. Ooh, he fancied that one. With the first out just above the treble wire. That's why he didn't go for treble 18.
Tops them for 9-4. Trying to close it out, and he's given James Wade another lifeline.
Well, he's thrown some exceptional darts in the last 10 minutes, but that's a mistake from Peter Wright. Will he be made to pay?
30.
He's got away with it.
Ragged leg.
20.
That's a key moment in the match. Peter Wright just trying to regroup, taking a look at the board and breathing in deeply, and away we go again. Double 5. At last, 20 darts it's taken him to get there, but it's a leg nevertheless. Same result, and goes ahead 9-4. Only 2 more needed.
136.
Well, Wade will no doubt dig in. It's a mammoth task at the moment when your opponent's averaging well in excess of 100.
58.
Just gone off the boil a touch in the last leg and a half, Peter Wright. James Wade will have been disappointed not to have capitalised in that last leg. And he's looking a bit bemused as to why they're just not going right now. Yeah, talk about Peter Wright's consistency over the weekend. 104.73 against Gabriel Clemens, 102.7 against Gerwyn Price, against Steve West 104.19, and here right now against James Wade 103.52. It's an impressive run of form which he's maintained throughout.
Doesn't just show quality, it shows consistency.
100.
His tournament average 103, his match average 103. All looking good for the world champion.
You won't to be too worried if this leg slips away, I don't think. Not with the 5-leg cushion.
I think it's just continuing to get his range back. So had a couple of visits in this leg
98.
where he's not hit the big trebles.
50.
Doesn't help. Has to move along the oki.
Good adjustment.
Very good, yes. The radar has just gone a bit astray.
He has just gone off the boil just a touch, hasn't he? But as I say, this is a Wade hold of throw, potentially.
40.
Well, he can't believe it. That's his favourite double, and he's missed it again.
43.
Just got a little bit scrappy after the first 2.5 legs, really, of this session, which was incredible from Peter Wright. 5 maximums, twice on a 9 darter.
Nothing scrappy about this.
Oh, can he?
Yes, he can. 143. And that is a body blow to James Wade. And Peter Wright, after some scruffy darts, produces a 143 and is now a leg away from another major title.
Well, that's how to turn a pie and chips leg into a pie, chips and gravy leg. Fabulous finish from the world champion.
140.
He has thrown so well all weekend against Johnny Clayton earlier on today. After a slow start, came powering through, and against James Wade, well, up from 6-4 now to 10-4, and just one more needed.
Yes, quality throughout by Peter Wright. It really has been
96.
a terrific effort to try and lift this trophy.
Fair play to James Wade, he's had a good weekend.
60.
He's had a terrific weekend.
He do require 125.
He's got himself back in the top 8, giving himself a lot of confidence, quietened a few critics.
100 needed. Tops for the match. Superb! What a way to take it. 125. And James Wade, I think heartfelt congratulations. He knows that on the day, Peter Wright, the world champion, played like the champion he is. Produced some tremendous darts. Averaged way past the 100 mark, which he did right the way through the game. And he produced another absolutely outstanding performance to take the title. Another new name on this title. Peter Wright beats James Wade by 11 legs to 4. Great to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, a thrilling final, and now it's time for our presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, would you please show your appreciation for our runner-up receiving £60,000 and the trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the machine, James Wade! And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for as we crown our champion. He receives £120,000, the magnificent trophy, and for the very first time in his career, we crown him the Unibet European Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Snakebite Peter Wright!
Oh, huge congratulations to Peter Wright. Ice cool tonight in that final against James Wade. It's almost as though he knows what it's like to win a major trophy. He looks rather comfortable, doesn't he? Chris Mason with us in the studio. What was the key component to that victory tonight?
It was solid from the get-go, and then there was that surge from 6-4, reeling off 5 legs and then finishing it off. Sort of picked his pocket with the 143 and then won it with a wonderful 125. He's been outstanding from his very first match, shown resilience, but it was almost, at times it was almost Taylor-esque in that final, the way he just continued to go through the gears. It was very, very impressive, and his 3rd TV title of the year.
Will James Wade have many regrets from that tonight, or will he just look at Peter and say it was a superior performance?
Bit of both. bit of both. He was almost unplayable at times, and then there was so much pressure loaded on James Wade for the finishes, and he's normally so reliable, whether it be first dart, second dart, or last dart, and it just wasn't there in the final, and that's as much down to the pressure applied by Peter Wright. But yeah, great performance all week. I mean, a tournament average of around about 104. That's right up there with as good as it gets.
It is, but he says it's not. It's funny, isn't it, when you've got a player of that standard, he goes, pah, 104, not good enough.
Yeah, well, he's always searching for perfection. Of course, he's fully aware, and we've seen it on TV, but more so on Euro Tour and behind the scenes at the Pro Tour events. He's at staggering averages, and he's always expecting to do that, which is why he tinkers so much. But he, on reflection, he'll look back at this, especially at times where he was pushed and tested. He just had all the answers. It was an outstanding performance from him.
And a couple of big finishes as well to really crush the spirits of James Wade.
Yeah, I mean, right at the end there, James missing darts at doubles, and this 143. Well, that must have been a dagger in the heart for James. And then finishing off in style. This was quite an apt way to do it. We both sat here and said, well, this would be a nice way to win it. James back on 201, so just the pressure of crossing the line. But of course, he knows how to cross the line. He's starting to pick up some tally of trophies. He'll be building a bigger house next time for all of his trophies, I think.
Yeah, he's already built a decent sized one, hasn't he? Well, let's hear from the brand newly crowned European champion, Peter Wright, now.
Peter, congratulations, European champion. Probably fitting considering all the success you've had in the European circuit over the last few years.
Yeah, well, it's the first final I've got to, and I managed to win it. I normally get beat by Mike in the semis or something like that, or in someone really good in the quarters. Yeah, I managed to get through. I was struggled in the semi-finals. I don't know, I just couldn't get going, and I think I took out a 110 against Johnny that made it 7 apiece and actually turned the match. Otherwise, Johnny would have been in the final.
It was a real battle with Johnny Clayton. In the end, you probably benefited from his miscounting late on in that game.
Yeah.
That was a big moment, wasn't it?
I wasn't looking. I was just keeping my head down, and I was sipping my drink, and then all of a sudden they're going, ooh. I'm going, what's he done there? And then obviously I got away with that.
All the way through this tournament, we haven't seen you produce an average less than 102, but you probably think there's loads more to come, don't you?
Yeah, see the two legs were in there, like the two 180s, one. I believe I can be more consistent like that, and I wasn't quite feeling it today. I said I didn't know how I was going to feel today, and I got away with it. But I will be playing a lot better than that.
Got away with it. You said when you came here this week that you'd lost a bit of love for the game. Has this week got you raring to go for the other big tournaments to come?
Yeah, that's all. I just needed that little, as I said, missed them 2 Europeans. Lucky enough, I'd already qualified at the beginning of the year, and I knew I just had to get my game right. Be fresh, because I know we've got loads of darts coming up, and you got to be fresh for that. We've got 5 Players Championships on the trot. I've got to try and finish top of that. That's my main target, and then obviously we've got the Grand Slam, and then we've got the Players Championship. So I have to be fresh.
You've won the World Championship, you've won the Masters this year, you're now the European champion, and all of that means that come the end of the year, you could well be world #1. That's got to be a big target for you, hasn't it?
Not bad for a 50-year-old. So be a target. I don't know. Yeah, I mucked up in the match play. Obviously, Glenn played well to beat me, but I didn't play that well, and and then the Grand Prix. So, but it's good to have that little rest, recharge the batteries, and then. Yeah, people might say you shouldn't do that, you should do this and that and everything, but I know what I needed in my mind to, prep for this.
And I think you've proved it. Peter Wright, European champion, congratulations.
Cheers, Dan. Thank you, mate.
Love you all. Stay my fans.
I think his Scottish fans in particular